In the next 7 days, I'm going to try write 10,000 words. Now, there's a couple things that come with this. Number one, this is a challenge for me. This is a stretch. I know there are professional writers out there that write 10, 15, 20,000 words in a week. I am not one of those. And number two, to bring you along on the journey and show you some insight into the process, but also hopefully to spur you along on whatever journey you're undertaking. I decided to undertake this challenge all of 1 hour ago, and I did some quick math. I need to write 1,428 words a day. This is more words than I've ever written over a 7-day period, and I'm just going to have fun with it. Either way, I'm probably going to split it between multiple chunks throughout the day as I have a job, I have other responsibilities, I have other things that I'm working on, but I am also going to target it towards one single project because that's what I want to work on for the next little bit. Come join me as I try undertake writing 10,000 words in 7 days. Also, wish me luck. Alright, welcome to day 2 of writing 10,000 words in the next 7 days. It is 5:30 in the morning here, and I've just brewed up some coffee and we're about to get ready and going. Unfortunate thing about having a full-time job is that you've got to get up early to do some writing, to get as much of it done before the day really kicks off. I'm about to enter a big block of writing before work. Wish me luck. Alright, good morning. Welcome to day 3 of trying to write 10,000 words in 7 days. This morning was another early one, trying to fit this around other things like work, social engagements, working out and everything else has been quite the challenge. I'm splitting it into a morning session and an evening session with trying to get a little bit of a chunk in the middle of the day as well. It is not an easy task, but I am enjoying trying, and it's nice to be writing. It is a rainy ass morning here today in the Pacific Northwest, and I'm going to work in about 10 minutes, but I just wanted to give you a little update and to share where I'm at. First day, I managed 1,461 words. The second day, a little bit harder, 1,117, which puts me behind, which means I'm going to have to work really hard. Today, this morning, day 3, was 825 words. It is a process we are learning, but it's also important that I recognize for me and for someone that's watching that it's fun and it's enjoyable and I'm doing it because I'm choosing to do it, not because it is a must. So I've noticed the quality of work isn't as high as what I would like it to be, but it's also a first draft and I'm also trying to come up with this story. So I'm having a nice time. It's been enjoyable. I'm practicing, I'm working, and that's my little update for now. I'll do another session this afternoon and I'm going to walk to work in the rain. All right, welcome to day 4. I've got my cuppa. I'm about to sit down and write for the afternoon. I am pretty behind. I picked a bad week to try undertake this challenge. Social events, 4 of the 7 nights that I am trying to undertake this. I just had a beautiful date day out to a sauna. I'll insert some clips a bit later because it was beautiful, and you should definitely go check out some kind of local sauna because what an experience. I've meant to have written 5,700 words and I have only accomplished 3,700 at this point in time, which means that I've got my work cut out for me. I knew this would be hard. I can hit about 1,000 words a day and that feels like my upper limit. And what I find challenging is getting much more than that, which is okay. That is the reason that I've undertaken this challenge. The whole reason for the challenge is to try push past that boundary, which is why I set this challenge to be 10,000 words in 7 days, knowing full well that I would have to produce 1,400 plus words a day to make this viable. What I will say is it's hard to balance around all the other stuff, the social commitments, the job, the workplace, but that's not an excuse. I need to turn up and I need to work harder at this. I'm not going to be down, out, and hard on myself. I'm going to work harder and try some different things and try some different strategies in order to see if I can pull off this challenge. And truthfully, that's why we undertake these challenges, to force ourselves into some growth, to force ourselves to be better, to take away some lessons. I understand this isn't a sustainable practice or model or product. I just know that challenges force me to be better, to be a bit more vigilant, to care a little bit more about the process. So I'm setting myself challenges and gamifying it a little bit and seeing if I can meet that marker. I knew at the very start this would be hard, and I knew full well that I would fall behind, because that is what happens in challenges like this when you are trying to integrate it within your real life. But I've still got time and we're not giving up until that final whistle. So without further ado, I'm going to get some writing done. Good morning, welcome to day 6. It's about 6 a.m. and we are behind. We're behind 5,500 words. This week has taken it out of me. I have just had too many social engagements to try put this together in the way that I would have liked. This morning I woke up with crippling self-doubt on whether I'm even able to be a writer. And I get caught up in that sometimes. I get caught up in the idea that there are too many books in the world, that who the hell is going to care about mine? I get caught up in the idea of, am I even good enough to write this? I get caught up and hung up on what a waste of precious resources I have, which is mostly my time that I'm putting towards this. It's not easy every day, and I'm not finding it easy right now. So I'm going to sit down, I'm going to try to write for 20 minutes, and we'll see how that goes. And hopefully I'll be able to check back in with having sat down to write for quite some time. It's a crazy thing that we undertake because it matters to us and we care about it. And the days where we feel like we don't care about it are, for me, in my opinion, the hardest. It's a Monday here and I'm going to work, the public holiday, but I do have a chunk of time this morning before that happens. So join me to write here. Let's see if we can pull out something miraculous. I guess. Oof. Alrighty, Roo, I just got back from the pub and I just wrote about 800 words. I needed to be in a different space just to get out of the house, to be a little bit more open, a little bit more vigilant of where I was. And as stupid as that sounds, it works sometimes and other times it doesn't. And tonight it worked a little bit. I wrote about 1,500 words for the day, which is probably one of my better days writing. But the self-doubt hasn't left from this morning. I started the morning with self-doubt and it is still so present. I am just sitting there, and I went to work and I looked at all the books and I went, fuck, like there is no way I'm going to be able to do this. And I say all that knowing full well that I'm going to turn up today and I'm going to turn up tomorrow and I'm going to keep going, because I'll probably wake up tomorrow and not feel that way, because that's kind of how it works. I don't think it's this never-ending self-doubt pit of despair. I think eventually it comes back, or you come through it, or it feels better. And I think that's the nature of being an artist and being a creative and being a person that loves to do these things. You are putting yourself into this thing. And as a result, if people don't like it, they don't like you. And that's just not always the case. I think there are so many other things that it's important for you to create it. It's important for people to read it, watch it, consume it, whatever it happens to be. And the way that we change the world in the way that we want it to go is by putting ourselves out there and sharing our art with pushing boundaries and pushing limits and pushing ideas. In the last few months, I've been thinking about the question, what word do you think defines the next 5 years for humanity? And initially I had a really negative response to that question. And recently I've changed it. I think it's courage. I think it's the people that go out of their way and step up and say the things that need to be said and push the boundaries and really push the limits. And I think artists are huge parts of that, rather than staying in this like apolitical climate of, no, like I can't say anything. I think you need to say the shit. I think you need to say the ugly parts and the good parts and the bad parts and the beautiful parts, because that's what matters. And I watch Hayley Williams do a performance on Jimmy Fallon, and she sings this song and just comes out and belts it. And it's just this political anti-racism, it's gorgeous. Go check it out. I'll link it below. It's fantastic. And having an artist that comes out and speaks for the people, that's what we need. And we need it on the really big scale, like Hayley Williams, and we need it on the small scale for myself and for those other people standing up for what's right. And perhaps that's the key to this whole thing. Anyway, this challenge is kicking my ass. I'm having a really tough time with it. I've inserted this challenge at probably one of the harder weeks I've had in a while. I had late night work events. I've had social outings. I've been trying to get up early and get this done. And I'm just kind of feeling out this story, and the words aren't coming as naturally or as easily as I would have hoped, which is okay, because that's why we do this shit. I am pushing my limit and it's supposed to be hard. What can I learn about myself in these moments? Crikey. I have 1 day left and I have to produce 4,065 words. Bloody hell. That's a lot of words to produce for tomorrow. It's 9:30 now and I've got 1 day. The bonus is that I'm not working tomorrow, so that's good. But 4,065 words is more words than I've ever written in one single day. And I'm gonna do it. I have to do it. I've made you watch this. I have to do it. So like we're going, we're all in. If you're watching this far, thank you so much. It means an incredible amount. But 4,000 words, we're going to get after it. We're going to do it. And I'll break it into chunks and I'll do whatever I need to do to get that done. But that is the focus for tomorrow, because that is what I've got left in this challenge. I had a couple of really good days in here where I sort of had 1,500 words done. But I also had a day where I wrote 53 words. I intended to write more and didn't get a chance to in the morning. And then my computer just melted down and couldn't function all the things I was trying to run on it at the same time. And all of a sudden, that was 2 hours of time that I had planned to write and was gone. And yeah, I could have wrote on my phone. I could have done different ways. It's fine. Those challenges, those things, that's the core of why we're people. And it's so human. And I'm going to show up tomorrow and I'm going to do my absolute best, because that's what we do. So thank you for watching day 6. And I'll see you back here in the morning for day 7. Good afternoon. We have reached the end of the challenge to try write 10,000 words in 7 days. And before I share the results, I just wanted to share this with you. Doing challenges makes us better. It moves the needle. My whole goal with this was to begin working on a manuscript. Filming it has kept me accountable, and I have pushed as hard as I can over the last 7 days to try do this challenge and to overcome something and to do something that I think will only make me a better writer in the long term. I just went on a run with a friend and I was talking to him about this idea of the simplicity that a challenge or a goal or something can add to your life. If you're trying to run a certain distance, it's really nice to know that you have a start and a finish. With this 10,000 word challenge, I know that I needed to get to 10,000 words, and all I had to do was turn up and write. It's simplicity at its finest. It's that idea of forcing yourself into this position where you have no other choice, and it is you versus your willpower and what you're willing to try achieve. Now, to share the final numbers with you. I came into day 7 having written 5,935 words. Yesterday, I wrote my heart out and managed to write a total of 4,075 words, bringing my grand total to 10,011 words. I'm incredibly stoked on the outcome. That is my most productive writing day I've ever had, and I had an absolute blast trying to do it, even though it was slow and it was hard and it was a challenge. If you have any other challenges you would like me to undertake, or if there's any other challenges you are undertaking, let me know in the comments below and I will see what we can do about those. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time, and I will see you back here next week.